team. Happy Tuesday. Hashtag Team Tuesday. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a couple of seconds to see if anyone jumps on the live. I know I'm on a little bit later than I was thinking. Say hello when you jump on, so I know who's watching. I can say hello. I am coming to you guys from my bedroom because I locked myself in here. Hey Briley! And for those of you guys that don't know me, I am Liz Mercado, your star director, and the director of the Tinker Stars team, which is part of our family of teams. So you might be under another director. Hey Michelle! And so you might kind of get confused with all the team names. I apologize, but I am going to explain a lot about that tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and get started so I don't make this too long because I do have a little bit of notes. If you guys see me looking down, it's because I want to make sure that I stay on track. You guys know I can talk a lot, and so I can be on here forever. So I want to stay on topic so I don't take up all of your night. But this is something that has been weighing on my heart very heavy the last couple of months. And during leadership this past week, they talked a lot about teams and team culture and stuff like that. And so I had a conversation with our directors and kind of realized that even though I have mentioned things when I'm training, I'm like, you know what? People might not know what I mean by that. They might understand it in a complete different light. So I want to talk to you guys about what team culture is, what the Tinker Stars team and family of teams team culture is, and kind of explain where I'm coming from, what I mean by it, and stuff like that. So those of you guys that don't know me, for a long time, I've been with Scentsy for 9 years. For a long time, I wandered along the Scentsy journey by myself. So I had a sponsor who, her and I go way back. We're friends. We're still friends to this day. She joined, but about a year and a half in of my journey, she decided that Scentsy was not for her and she was leaving. And so I rolled up a couple of times to a sponsor that I really didn't know. I barely had met her at team events from our superstar director, but I didn't really know her as a person. Kind of just knew her as a Scentsy consultant, right? So while I was on this journey, I was accomplishing goals and I achieved success, but it was very, very lonely. Okay, I longed for that family within Scentsy. I longed to be able to go to events with my team and people that I loved and cared for. I would walk into World Tour or to SFR by myself, and I would sit by myself. And while you're never really alone in the Scentsy world because you turn to your right, you turn to your left, you make friends, it was very scary and very lonely. And so I longed for that. I wanted to be the type of leader that, she looked out to see where her teammates were. And, when we went to World Tour, okay, she's here. Hi, how are you? I wanted to make sure I was that kind of leader. So as our team started to grow, I started envisioning a welcoming, positive, room at our table for everyone kind of environment, a team full of supportive, helpful and cheerful teammates. But sometimes, like I said at the beginning, that message doesn't get across because, like I said, we all come from different walks of life. We might understand things differently. We might think, well, I don't know if I can post this. I don't know if I can do this. So wanted to make sure that I kind of talked about that. So I want to share with you guys a clear vision of what team culture means to me and what the Tinker Stars team and family of teams team culture is. So, I said at the beginning, you might think well, I have another director or a leader, and while that is true, and they have their team culture, and I can tell you guys, all of my directors and leaders are amazing, and they are training themselves, they are filling their cup to give their best of themselves to you guys. And while they're building their team culture, I applaud them and I support them, but I also want you guys to know that you will always have a seat at my table as well. We are one big happy family. And so what is culture? So if you look up the definition of culture, it is the characteristics and knowledge of a particular group of people. This is what unites us, since we all come from different paths of life. So as we continue to grow, I want you guys to think of our team and family of teams like a tree. So we all come from the same root, and we all kind of branch out as we grow as leaders, right, into our own little teams. And so you will see that our culture, while it might be different, it also might be very similar, because we're branching from the same tree. We're taking things that we like and adding other things that we like to be able to grow as one. So if I fast forward to, I'm kind of going to go over a few of the things that are part of our team culture. So in 2012, Orville had a keynote at SFR. And so when I say contribute more than you take, or give back more than you take, it goes back to this keynote. And if you've never watched it, I highly suggest you watch it. It is so, so good. So in this, he referenced the difference between scouting and the Olympic Games, right? Anyone watching the Olympic Games? So in scouting, the buddy system is crucial, right? Like everyone is at the same level. Everyone is working together. We're not in competition, right? So in scouting, no matter what education, physical disabilities, backgrounds, is limited. No one is limited. On the other hand, the Olympics, while they're a fun tradition and there's so much they're exciting to watch, it epitomizes on competition, right? Who is the best? Who do you have to outdo to get that gold medal, right? And while athletes are amazing and they are very good at being a good competitive sport, at the end of the day, someone's taking gold, silver, or bronze, and some people might not be taking anything, right? So sports should not be the model of our business. We should not model our business as to who can I beat, who can I promote before them, who can I outdo in PRV, who can I outdo here, who can I outdo there, right? We should have a scouting mentality. So we are companions, not each other's competition. We can't be defined more by take than to give. Contribute more than you take only works if you truly believe in the spirit of abundance. So Orville in this talk goes and says about this, when you're camping, and I want you guys to picture this. We're camping. We have an amazing fire going, right? And we set it up, and it's burning hot. We're cold, and we are sitting around the campfire. If someone comes and joins us, we scoot back, right? And then more people can fit. So we scoot back, more people can fit. If we, instead of focusing on the bunch of logs to keep the fire going, if we focus on moving closer to the fire to stay warm, then instead of feeding the fire, guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna start moving in, and some people are gonna get left behind. Some people are gonna get outcasted, right? And at the end of the day, if no one's focused on feeding that fire is gonna dwindle anyway. And maybe at the end, one person has the fire. So when we have a give more than what you take attitude, we can actually expand our circle and let everyone have room at our fire. And that is what Scentsy is all about, right? Is including everyone. Everyone can make it at the top. There's room for everyone. And so, one, we have to feed the fire for it to continue to grow, right? So we all have to be aware of, hey, the fire is dying down. Let's put some more wood. Or, hey, like I have this turn to put the wood, or however, right? 2, we sit in an equal circle so that all can enjoy the fire. 3, as it grows more, the fire, we can move back to welcome in more people. 4, Believe in the abundance in wood, and don't be scared by the dancing of the flames. This kind of reminded me of sometimes when we have like a sellout, or we have this little bunny, I forgot the name, but like this bunny that was gone for like most of the catalog. Sometimes when we see that dancing of the flames, something that's not going perfect in the Scentsy world, we think, oh my gosh, I gotta hoard all this stuff because I need to be able to have it, instead of believing in the abundance of what Scentsy can do. Instead of believing in, like, you know, let's not just think about how I can get this fire all by myself. Let's go ahead and think, not live by the fear of the dancing of the flames, right? Let's believe in that abundance. And then 5, don't move ahead for more warmth and at the expense of someone behind you, right? Feed that flame. So when I say give more than you take, which is one of the things that we focus in our team culture, this is what I'm talking about. Don't run your business and say, well, I'm not going to share this amazing idea I have that is working amazing for me and it's getting me so much PRV and I'm getting parties, because I don't want no one's taking it from me. Guess what? When you help those around you, they're more willing to help you back. They're more willing to give back to you as well. And one day you might benefit from an idea that someone else shares, from something that someone else came up with, or someone tweaked and they're achieving success with it, right? So when we contribute more than we take, it's kind of a ripple effect. We give, and at first we might be like, oh man, like I'm always giving, no one's giving back, whatever. But the more we give, it's like a ripple effect. Everyone starts seeing that, and then they want to share, and then they want to share, and then, oh, I had this idea, or I took so-and-so's idea and I tweaked it, and this is what I came up with, and guess what? You might be inspiring people that you don't even know you're inspiring. And I'm not telling you to share things to inspire others because we want to be popular. But what if you have a talent, you have something that inspires someone that doesn't believe in themselves yet? Think about how you can change someone's business, someone's life, by just simply sharing what you're doing. By making sure that they're in that circle of the warmth of the fire. Think about that. Okay, the second thing that I like to focus on in our team culture comes from Orville's keynote in 2009. And if you haven't noticed, I love keynotes. I love Orville. Like, he speaks to my soul. And so in this keynote, he talks about, it's called Arrows Out. So you've heard me probably say Arrows Out. He talks about how we can choose to look at things from a position of entitlement or a position of gratitude. Life is always going to happen, okay? So picture this. Picture a line, okay? And in one side, you have an arrow going this way, and it says happy. And on this side, you have an arrow going this way, and it says sad. And I know it's kind of hard to see that with just me drawing it out. But if you start out the line, and you start moving in circles outward, we are focused on gratitude. And when we're focused on gratitude, it makes us happy, and our life gets, like our circle gets bigger. If we are inwardly focused, it makes our circle smaller, and we tend to be sadder. This is when we are doing things by feeling entitled. So if we revert our course because of a challenge, there's no growth, because we're literally like moving backwards, and we're not choosing to grow during those challenges, right? But if we can find some happiness, some gratitude through challenges, what we end up is with an expanded experience. We not only learned, but we are happy at the end of the day. We're not miserable. So our circumstances, our relationships, and possessions are all arrows, right? So imagine a stick figure and one right here, right? And this stick figure, all the arrows are pointed inward, right? That's when you're feeling entitled. When you're saying, well, that sold out so fast, you know, I'm going to quit Scentsy because I can't get anything. Or, you know, I am never going to move up because my sponsor did not train me. You're thinking about everything from the entitled position. And I'm not saying these are not valid points, okay? Please do not take me wrong. These are all valid points, and we've all been there. We've all felt this way, and your feelings are valid. But when we tend to look at things from an arrows out perspective, right? We tend to do it out of gratitude, and then we grow. So instead of saying, I can't sell Scentsy because everything sells out so quickly, we can say, oh my gosh, I have a hot item in my hands. I need to tell my customers not to wait around, not to sleep on this because we have hot items. When you think, well, I can't grow because my sponsor doesn't train me, she doesn't take a time to talk to me, she doesn't care about me, you can grow and find your inner circle. You can grow and still become successful by you searching for the things that you need to be able to be successful. You guys, I had to do it. And guess what? I was very much arrows in. I kept telling everyone, I am not more successful because my sponsor. I can't promote because my sponsor won't train me. I can't promote because I don't get recognized. I don't do this. I don't do that. It wasn't until someone literally confronted me and said, do you do Scentsy for them or do you do it for yourself? And I said, I do it for myself. And she's like, well, then find a way to do it. Start watching YouTube trainings. Start watching the trainings on the training center. Start talking to people that you want to be like. Start doing the things that you see people that are successful doing to get there. When I started doing those things, I found myself surrounded by people that were arrows out. They were giving me more than they were taking. When I wasn't even on their team. I wasn't even in their downline. They weren't getting paid on me at all. But their focus was arrows out. How can I grow through this challenge instead of reverting? Okay? So Orville states the key to perpetual happiness isn't having challenges. We're always going to have challenges. It's having the mentality of arrows out. It's having that gratitude mentality. That is another key thing that I like to have in our culture, is that arrows out mentality. How can we grow through this? How can we look at this through gratitude? Okay. The third part comes from Heidi's keynote in 2017. It was a Swing for the Fences reunion, and she talked about a growth mindset and the statement yet. So when we come across the things we cannot do, we usually say, I don't know how, I can't do it, I'm not good at this, right? These are usually known as I can't statements. You might have said these yourself. I have said them myself many, many times. I actually caught myself saying one the other day when I was talking to a friend. I said, well, I can't sponsor. Can't say that, okay? And she compares the movie The Sandlot in her speech. And if you have never seen the Sandlot movie, I recommend you watch it. It's a great summer movie. I actually watched it growing up all the time and love the movie. So the movie is about this group of boys who play baseball during the summer, and they play baseball in this abandoned field. And so when they bat the ball too hard, it goes into this yard with this huge dog that everyone's terrified of, right? So Heidi goes on to say that she was watching this movie, and the dog, or the beast, this time that she was watching it, came to her at a new light. The beast is the loud voice telling us we can't. Hopping the fence is an invitation to embrace our true potential. We embrace our true potential when we change our mindset. So we aren't positive or negative people. And I hear that a lot. And I think I've said it a lot myself too. Like, oh, she's so positive, or she's so negative, or this person's so positive, this person's so negative. But in reality, It's which side of our brain we are choosing to employ. Are we choosing to employ our fixed mindset, which tends to be the negative, or our growth mindset, which tends to be the positive? So in our TinkerStars team culture, we inspire a growth mindset. We strive to try new things, even when they're scary, and turn our I can'ts into I cans or I haven't yet. We embrace failure because failure is learning. But we don't let the failure define us. We take them to learn and do better. Becoming is better than being. We're all gonna fail at some point. Maybe you had this great idea that you thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna work. And then when you try it, it didn't do anything. You guys, I have failed many times in this business. As a consultant, as a leader, as just a person in general, like I've made mistakes. There's been times where I plan this grand open house and I'm like, yeah, like everybody's gonna wanna come. I picked like the perfect day and the perfect theme and I have food and no one shows up. But guess what? I always look at how I can learn from that and move forward. When we click the join button to join Scentsy, we had faith in something. Maybe in ourselves, maybe in the business, maybe in our sponsor. And sometimes along the way, we lose that faith because we had a bad month or we sponsored and they didn't do anything. And oh my gosh, I had so much hopes for that person, but they did nothing, right? We've all been there. Maybe we didn't earn that incentive that we were really trying to earn. I tried so hard. So many late nights, right? So many parties, so many events, and I didn't earn it. I've been there. Maybe sometimes you know yourself you didn't give it your all. Or maybe you hurt someone. I know I have, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, we have what it takes within ourselves to be successful, to make this work. We have the tools to achieve all of our dreams. And when we look at something as scary as a promotion or the new incentive or a $2,000 month, instead of saying I can't or I'm not good at, what we need to turn that is into I can sell $2,000 a month. I can sponsor someone this month. I haven't earned that incentive yet. Changing our mindset to a growth mindset makes a world of difference. So when we are on this journey, right, we want to build a culture, build a family, because not only is that how we are supported and how we can learn and we can go further, but it's who's going to be there for us in the goods and the bads. It's who's going to literally pick up from our pity party and say, now get to work. Enough with the pity party, get to work, right? It's who's going to hold us accountable, and it's who's going to cheer us on. So I want to share with you guys why I picked the name TinkerStars, okay? When I became a director, or right before I became a director, one day I remember I was working on this same bed that I'm sitting on right now. My kids were napping, and my daughter had fallen asleep to the Tinkerbell movie. And so as I was watching this movie, y'all know I love Disney, but there was a little bit more to that, right? As I was watching the movie, I learned that tinker means they create things, right? They take things and they make things out of that, right? So as I was watching, because it caught my attention, I started thinking like, hey, like I'm creating something with my business. Like they create things for a colony, right? Like to better the colony, to like help develop things to help other people. So when I thought about that, I said, hold on. We're creators of our own destiny. We can change our lives with Scentsy. We can do that. We are creators of systems. Everyone is entitled and has the talent to create systems that work. Yes, we work hard, smarter, not harder. So if someone already has a great system, why try to recreate it, right? We can take that and tweak it to our own, like to what works for us. But at the same time, we are capable of doing that. And so I said, you know what? I have to add this to my team name because I want us to be creators of our own destiny and creators of like a better Scentsy world for everyone around us. And stars. So if you look up the definition of stars, it says a fixed luminous point in the sky, which is a large, remote, incandescent body like the sun. It's luminous. It's bright. We all shine in our own ways. Orville once said, be a star big enough that others can wish upon you. Sorry. Told you guys I love Orville. And again, it's not wanting to be that big star that everyone just looks up to. It's wanting to do it because you want to give more than you take. But when I heard that, and when I think of stars, I think of how everyone has a voice. Everyone has something they can share, a talent, ideas. It doesn't matter if you joined 5 minutes ago, 10 years ago, you still have something that can be bright and can light up the sky and inspire other people. There are many times that you guys inspire me. And I've been doing this a lot longer than most of you. But you guys inspire me. There's times that I see other directors that may have joined a few months ago. They inspire me. They teach me. Be bright. Don't think that because you joined just a few months ago or a year ago or 3 years ago or whatever, that you don't have something to share. Don't think that because you are an essential consultant or a certified consultant, you do not have the same value or the same right to share as our directors or our superstar consultants. Because guess what? There is a seat for everyone at our table. And there's still a lot of seats that are empty and waiting to be filled. Our team culture is very important to me. And so when I feel like when all of us as a Tinker Star, whether you are on my team because I'm your director or you are on one of our other amazing directors' teams, you guys still shine bright. And when we embrace these cultural characteristics that we are taking from Heidi and Orville, that they're trying to pass down to us, give more than you take. Be arrows out. Have that growth mindset. Inspire that growth mindset. When we live though that and the core values, authenticity, generosity, and simplicity, I can tell you guys, our team will be harmonious. It will be tight-knit. We will be growing and expanding and welcoming people into that warm circle because people like to be part of something. So I did mention that I love Disney. I do. I'm a big sucker for Disney, okay? So I'll leave you guys with this. I always say my Scentsy Ohana. If you've watched Lilo and Stitch, you know what Ohana means. Sorry. I'm very big on it being a family culture. And when I call you guys my Scentsy Ohana, it's because you guys are part of my family. And it's because that Ohana saying of family, no one gets left behind or forgotten, is the truth. It's what I live by. I try to remember each and every one of you. Whether I might spend hours of coaching with some, or some I know that they're running it as a hobby, I still consider you guys as part of my family. You guys are all equally important, and you guys still have a seat at the table. And I'm not pushing those hobbies down. We all can like play musical chairs and rotate and get to know each other. But I say that because I really do mean it. Okay? And I hope that you guys do too. I hope that you guys can feel the love from our team, can feel that culture. And I hope that when I say something like, you know, give more than you take or arrows out, I hope that you guys can understand what I'm saying now, what I mean by those things, than when I would say them before. Because now, you know, I went and dug out like exactly what I meant by them. But know that I love you guys. Know that this team is everything to me. If it's one thing that has kept me going with Scentsy, is our team. And I know that teams have ups and downs, and teams have moments where everything is so like up in the air, especially during fall, our promotions and this and that, and oh my gosh, so much to celebrate. And then there's times where like you know, it's very slow months and we are like trucking along and maybe we're not as excited. But when I have wanted to throw in the towel and quit, one of the things that pulls me back the most is my team. It's my Sensei Ohana. So know that this is the culture that I try to live by. This is what I try to give to you guys. And I hope that you guys can take something out of this as you're either building your own cultures or living our culture, or even expanding it into your team's culture, that you guys are, you know, wanting to live the things that our CEOs want us to spread. The things that they have taught us is what we should be spreading to everyone else. So I'll leave you guys with that tonight. Know that I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.